So, but it's good. I mean, good experience. We gave a good action.
And just shows me that he is a great fighter, but I'm going into this camp. I
think Mario is gonna go out there and just put a beating on Manny. I think Manny's a little too old, but I mean, he's a legend. He already did what he did, so I really don't see a reason for him to come back. But
at their first news conference, Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios got into a heated argument. When asked about Barrios' younger age, Pacquiao laughed and said, "Don't worry about it." The veteran's cool but sure answer showed that he had full faith in his skills, setting the stage for a heated argument.
Are you excited to step into the ring again?
Yes.
What do you think of Barrios? He's a big, strong, young, sturdy. You have 16 years on him, Manny.
Don't worry about it.
Mario Barrios is filled with quiet optimism as he heads into this important fight. During interviews with the press, the young boxer made it clear that he has full faith in both himself and his team's plan. Barrios stressed that they've studied Pacquiao's style strengths and tendencies and are not entering this match blindly. According to him, the plan is very clear and is meant to take advantage of what he sees as a gap between generations. His calm demeanor makes it seem like he doesn't see this fight as a challenge, but as a chance to do what he's trained for. If you like this, please subscribe Punch Vista and click the bell icon for more latest and interesting videos.
When you see the Manny Pacquiao fight, what can you learn from that fight?
It shows that combination punchers. That's how Pacquiao was landing. His punches, combinations, and it just shows me that he is a great fighter. But I'm going into this camp, into this fight confident, everything right with our game plan, and I'm going to try to execute it as best as I can.
Manny Pacquiao trains with the same level of energy that made him famous when he was 46 years old. He is still moving quickly. He makes sharp combos and moves his feet with purpose. Observers have noticed that Pacquiao appears dialed in and focused, not just on getting in shape, but on refining the details. There's a sense of urgency in his camp, not of desperation, but of desire to prove that this comeback isn't a hollow gesture. The Filipino icon, known for his discipline, looks locked into a mental state that disregards the noise. Contrary to the belief that Pacquiao had fully stepped away from boxing,
Roger Fernandez.
It's been revealed that he stayed active behind the scenes, participating in unsanctioned or low-profile exhibition matches. He kept his tools sharp and reactions intact. These underground bouts may not have drawn headlines, but they were important in keeping his timing and conditioning alive. Pacquiao's choice to stay physically engaged after retirement highlights his enduring love for the sport. He's not returning to the ring cold. He's been quietly working, staying in tune. Boxer Jesse "Bam" Rodriguez didn't mince words when giving his take on the Pacquiao Barrios fight.
A lot of people say, well, he's been inactive, he's older. Man, but he throw punches. He has a lot of experience. And his last fight was an exhibition, which still was a fight and still kept him sharp, punching, doing something. So it ain't like he just ain't been in the ring, ain't did nothing. Yeah, he been working. It's like them underground boxing matches are real fights. And it keep you off bold. Emmanuel Stewart used to do a lot of exhibitions for his guys, or his guys to get them sharp, to get them prepared for a fight. If they hadn't fought in a minute, just to have them fight sharp. What up, Keith? Yeah, just to have them fight sharp. So if they got in the ring and they hadn't fought in a minute, it won't seem like it. It'd seem like they just recently fought.
Rodriguez acknowledged Pacquiao's legendary status, but firmly put his faith in youth. According to him, Barrios' physical freshness and youthful energy will prove too overwhelming for the 46-year-old icon. Rodriguez went as far as to predict a beating, showing the risks of coming out of retirement to face an active, hungry opponent in Rodriguez's view. Experience may be valuable, but it simply can't make up for the physical benefits that Barrios holds. Stamina, speed, and recovery time among them.
Mario is gonna go out there and just put a beating on Manny. I think Manny's a little too old, but I mean, he's a legend. He already did what he did, so I really don't see a reason for him to come back. But if he wants to get in the ring with Mario, then I guess Mario has to show him that youth. He has a youth, and Manny Pacquiao should have just stayed retired.
Yeah. I mean, that's what a lot of fans are saying, and are still kind of disbelief. But even looking at social media and the fans, they're thrilled just to see him back. So just to have him in the ring, and his fighters at that age are not competing.
I think that just says a lot about the type of fighter Manny Pacquiao is, the stardom he has. I mean, he's 46, 47?
He's 46.
And people are still excited to see him fight. So, I mean, that just says a lot about him and what he's done in his career. So, like I said earlier, to see a friend I grew up with fight Manny Pacquiao is just going to be pretty cool. And in the same night. So, it's a huge night for San Antonio boxing.
Veteran analyst Teddy Atlas brought a new perspective to the conversation by highlighting Barrios' transition in weight classes, while many see Barrios' youth and size as clear benefits. Atlas suggested that these traits might be misleading. Barrios, he stated, originally fought in lighter weight divisions before moving up to welterweight. This, according to Atlas, diminishes the narrative that Barrios holds a legitimate size edge over Pacquiao. Instead, the analyst suggested the matchup is more balanced than it looks.
Not naturally as big a man as those other welterweights. So start there. That's a fair point. He moved up in weight, Barrios. So he's not a naturally big, natural welterweight. And of course, we understand Pacquiao has moved up. My God, I don't even know when he first turned pro. You would have thought maybe he could have been a jockey.
Yeah,
I mean, he was that
pounds.
round. You could move around, navigate a little bit, say this, say that. But there comes to a certain point with everything that no matter how much you move the furniture around, you still know what room you're in. You still know what room. You can't fool yourself. And he's in a room where he's 46 years old with 72 fights. I rest my case, counselor.
Yeah.
Longtime trainer Justin Fortune offered great praise for Manny, Pacquiao comparing him to the likes of Michael Jordan. The analogy wasn't just about greatness, it was about continuous excellence over time. Fortune stressed that while Pacquiao is older, he hasn't allowed himself to become rusty or complacent. His discipline has kept him in fighting shape, and his training habits show a mental sharpness uncommon even among active champions.
His age, yeah, I mean, but it's not, listen, he's 45, 46. He live in jail. 45, 46, but he's not. He's always acting. He's always staying active. He's always doing something, mostly playing basketball, some sort of sport. I mean, cardio. So, no, really.
When Nate Diaz beat Conor McGregor, he said, "I'm not surprised." So Manny could say that after he beats Barrios, that he wasn't surprised that he's supposed to win.
Well, what Diaz beat. I mean, different Diaz.
He's already as fast as he's been all the years. He hasn't lost a beat.
No, even if he did lose a beat, he's still faster than anyone else out there. But you just have to set a schedule because he's not 25 anymore.
But what does it mean to boxing that he's back? What does it mean? Like, you can feel the festive energy.
Of course, because he's
an icon.
He's an icon. He's Pacquiao. He's the Jordan of boxing. Simple as that.
No, he has more championships than Jordan. He has 8.
No, I mean, he's
he's an iconic figure. Yeah, he is.
And boxing needs it.
Yeah. No, it's true. The sport is hurting. There's nobody like Manny. Well, you're very popular these days.
For Mario Barrios, this fight is more than just a stepping stone. It's the peak of his boxing dreams. To face a legend like Manny Pacquiao is a moment of pride, pressure, and tremendous chance. Barrios has freely expressed his admiration for Pacquiao's legacy, but he's also made it clear that he won't let that reverence affect his performance. Respect aside, Barrios is in this to win. This isn't just a paycheck or a publicity fight.
I interviewed your sister, and she told me when you were kids, she would do the best in sparring. She would get the best of you.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, usually.
When did that change, Mario? When did that change?
He wasn't the only guy she got the best of in San Antonio. She got the best out of everybody, man. Shit.
No, yeah, my sister's a beast, man. Like she couldn't spar other females a lot of times because they
unfair.
Yeah.
Mismatch.
She was like overwhelming, man. She was just naturally, strong, and so yeah, most of the time, spar partners, they were dudes, but I mean, I couldn't really even like spar with her serious. I mean, until I was like 17 or 18.
Wow.
We have Sean Gibbons here, Manny Pacquiao's right-hand man, advisor, head of MP Promotions. Sean, I know you spent a lot of time with Manny Pacquiao over recent weeks and months. There's a lot of conversations about Manny's comeback. What is the latest that you could offer and the update around the potential matchup with Mario Barrios?
Well, the latest is Manny's fighting an exhibition on 28th in Japan. So, you don't want to really look past that. But if he's successful there, Mario Barrios, we've talked about Conor Ben, which I believe was a great fight. That would have been a tremendous fight. We could have done it in England. We could have done it in the U.S. We could have done it in Riyadh season. But the fact that he wasn't able to come off the suspension, that put the brakes on that. So that brought us to Mario Barrios. He's the WBC world champion. Manny's first belt ever many years ago was a WBC belt. So I think
Ricky Hatton's response to Pacquiao's comeback was a mix of admiration and skepticism. The former champion accepted the drama and unpredictability of boxing, but questioned the logic behind a title fight after such a long layoff. Hatton highlighted the changing pace of modern boxing and suggested that Pacquiao's re-entry may not be the fans are looking for.
Barrios for the WBC title a number of years out of the ring. What do you make of it?
Well, one, I hope he doesn't get hurt. I think there's every chance he could do. Secondly, I think how has he got to a world title shot? Fifth in the world, imagine if he was number 1 and 2 in the division and trained all your life to get there, and then Manny comes in after being retired 5 years and or whatever it is, and goes into number 5 in the division. Boxing.
Carl Frampton's take on the fight was frank and unsparing. He called the match a joke, expressing serious doubt about the motives behind Pacquiao's return. Frampton suggested that financial incentives may be playing a part, overshadowing the sporting integrity of the bout. His worry wasn't just for the sport, but for Pacquiao's well-being. At 46, he claimed, Pacquiao is more susceptible to injury, and stepping into a high-stakes world title fight...
Joke, really? There's the thought. It's an absolute joke. I love Manny Pacquiao. Love everything about him. An all-time great in terms of what he's done previous, but that doesn't entitle you to just walk back in after 6 years and get a number 4 ranking with the WBC and fight for a world title. What about all the other guys that are waiting around? It's wrong. We seen Manny Pacquiao fight an exhibition against a kickboxer in his last fight, and kickboxers can't box, right? I've seen world champion kickboxers coming and sparring boxers. They can't box. They can kick, but they can't, and they can kick and box a little bit. They can't really box, and Manny didn't look great. I mean, yep, I don't know. The WBC, I think they have a lot of time for him, Richie O'Sullivan, but I think it's a mistake, really do, and they should be quite embarrassed.
Could-be reckless trainer Robert Garcia offered a balanced perspective, praising Pacquiao's legacy while voicing concern over the toll age takes on top athletes. Garcia acknowledged that Pacquiao's name fits among the greatest, but warned that physical decline is inescapable.
Well, Pacquiao's a big name, and obviously Barrios a great fight for Barrios because he's a champion, and I think Pacquiao, being that they both have connections with PBC, that's the easiest fight to make. So, getting another title opportunity, just the name obviously, but I really believe that Pacquiao shouldn't be fighting. I think it's actually going to be a little. I don't want to say sad because he's going to make a lot of money, so we can't feel sorry for him. But at 46, almost 47, it's almost impossible for, you know, I'm just 4 years older, 4 years older than him, and it's not easy to try to think you're gonna get in shape and be able to perform like the way you were when you were in 20s and 30s.
You think it's impossible for him to beat Mario Barrios right now?
Well, it's not impossible because he has power. That he should have that power. My boy, so I don't see that happening. But is it possible? Anything's possible. You know, George Foreman did it. There's been others that do it. You know, but I really don't see it happening.
But Pacquiao's speed's the name of his game. Do you think he doesn't have that? There's no way he didn't have the same speed as before.
There's no way, bro. You guys, I don't know if you guys seen his last performance.
The exhibition where against that big guy.
It was actually embarrassing to see that shit. You know, so it wasn't that good. It wasn't that good. You know what I mean?
If Pacquiao wins, what does that do for him? Where does that put him all time?
Hell, come on. At that age, after like a few years, I don't know how many years he's been off. You know, that'd be impressive. It's hard to think it's gonna happen, but that shit would be nice, man. It would be nice. Very few have done it, and he's actually one that could do it.
Pacquiao, he's probably top 5 all time, one of the greatest fighters.
The Pacquiao Barrios fight has split opinion. Some think Pacquiao's wealth of experience, fight IQ, and veteran toughness can prevail over a younger, less proven opponent. Others view the event through a more critical lens, comparing it to modern spectacle fights that value entertainment over sporting worth. The comparison of Tyson versus Jake Paul has floated around, with critics worried the match might lack real competitiveness. Still, Pacquiao's aura and the stakes at hand make the fight compelling, if controversial.
Yes.
You got Manny winning?
No. Against Barrios?
Yeah.
No, I think look, every great fighter got one great fight left in him. That had to be Thurman. And Manny, I think Manny seems to want to... Manny appears to be like how Bernard and Roy were. Like, he's really one of those great old school fighters where he's got to go out on his shield. Yeah. Going out on your shield used to not mean just in any given fight. It used to mean that's how they went out, period, fighters. And Manny's like that.
I do not want to see...
It's really hard to see Manny Pacquiao losing to Mario Barrios because of who they are. But who they are now, you know?
Sean, I do not want to see like Manny on the knee, mouthpiece out. That's going to hurt me.
Kevin McBride, Mike Tyson.
That's going to hurt me.
That's it for today's movie. Stay tuned until next.